With records, there's a side 1 and a side 2. But with a CD, it's just 1 through whatever. Is there a lot of thought really put into what track 2 is going to be compared to track 7?
Yeah.
Do any of your stuff come out on vinyl?
Yeah, all our stuff's come out on vinyl, even when vinyl wasn't, back in vogue or whatever, our stuff was still coming out on vinyl. Yeah, we do. If there's one thing that we really do, like sort of, construct with an album, it's the track listing. And we all have our own sort of angles on that, so it's a matter of coming to a consensus, really, which is easier said than done sometimes, but, you get there in the end,
And now it says here, now are unions in the UK are they a powerful political force?
Yeah, they definitely have the influence, and so they should, because, there's a lot of debate about unions, but essentially what they are there for is to uphold terms and conditions of working people who would have no sort of no power otherwise, and so they do have a certain power, and long may it reign, because without them a lot of people would be in far worse positions than what they are, and I think one thing that definitely should not be allowed is the thing that you have in the States. Is some states can choose to be right to work states where unions aren't recognised. How can that be? That's so one-sided. That's like a blackball, like a whitewash.
It's not quite right to work, it's right to work for less.
Well, yeah, right for a boss to set your terms and conditions even if you've already agreed a contract with him. That's not right, man,
And that doesn't really happen over in, well,
no, it doesn't. Union representation is a given right. You can have companies where you go and they're closed shops where they only recognise one union, but every person's got the right to organise in a workplace, and so it should be. I think this whole thing about certain states being able to opt out to be right to work states, it shouldn't be allowed. It should be a countrywide. Anybody that goes in at any level, and let's look at the people who need it most, is on minimum wage, deserve representation. Otherwise the companies can do anything, they can get away with anything and say, oh, we never did that. That's not true, and you haven't got you can't defend yourself.
It's ironic in a way that USA, the first word in U is united.
Yeah.
And America is a united country, and that's what makes it as strong as it is, so to speak.
Yeah, it's not united though, because neither, and like it's like anywhere else in the world, it's not united. You have some people that advocate over here no taxes, and therefore no public services, and so how can it be united? Because that cuts a whole 80-something% of the population out of the picture, and why should that be? Which is a good job, and I will go on to say that. So therefore, it's a good thing. I mean, I know there are certain things about the Obama administration that I personally don't like from a human level, such as the drone attacks in the Middle East. I think that serves no purpose. It's certainly not going to make international relations become any better. But I think in terms of women's rights, abortion rights, employment rights, and many other things in the US, that re-election last week was the best thing that could happen. And outside of America, this is very important. It makes Europeans more confident to have Obama in the White House than Romney. People were really afraid outside of America of what the consequences would have been if Romney and Ryan would have been elected. Actually, Ryan bothers me more than Romney does. I think that guy's a whack job, personally. So.
Whack job on the PX90 fucking regiment.
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
I like the PX90, but I
haven't tried
Ryan. I've looked at it. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to give it a go at some point. Yeah.
He seems to be in very good shape.
Yeah, bodily, but he's not in shape in his fucking head. That's
too much Ayn Rand,
too much Bible,
I think.
Yeah, and Bible-based activities.
You played the Democratic Republic of Nepal. Did you get a chance to go do some tourist?
We were only there for a day. We were only there for a day, and I have to say, doing the gig there was great for the people. But I saw poverty there. like I've rarely seen in other places. And bearing in mind, Nepal ain't the worst either in that region. Kathmandu certainly is supposedly more, well, it's all relative, but affluent, than other parts of the country. I saw people literally living in ditches on the side of the road. It was pretty wild, and it's hard not to get affected by that stuff. What could I do? What could we do at that point?
In a day.
So
not much you could do in a day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And now I'm gonna wrap this up. What's more important, right to privacy or a right to protect content digitally? Right. I'm asking about like
overall,
SOPA and stuff. Yeah.
Right to privacy, definitely. I wouldn't put any of my considerations over the right to privacy of human beings, because this is a bigger question. It's a bigger issue than just digital rights. This is a human rights issue, and there's too much state interference into us as individuals, So this is the thing. We have society as it is right now.
What?
Society is as it is right now. Unless the whole system changes, we're stuck with it for a couple of generations. So I would like things to be slightly different. But as we have what we have right now, I'm for the state in terms of looking after people, giving them health care, everything to keep people alive and not see people starving on the streets. I'm for the state in that respect, definitely, no question, all the way. But that doesn't give them the right for those of the elite to probe into our daily comings and goings, to monitor every phone call, every email, every text message. I don't know where people think they get the right to do that. What is the context, that could give anybody the right?
A lot of us are giving it away for the ability to use our Facebook account and like things. Right?
They're resisting it in England, in the UK, quite heavily, because there's a similar bill going through, and people are saying no. There's a huge amount of resistance. So hopefully, it will get knocked off the parliamentary statute books. Well, it's not had statute yet. It's at the pre-stage, before that. So
sounds very complicated.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's very simple also. We have the right to not be harassed by organs of the state,
The powers that be.
Exactly.
And finally, what's next after this particular tour? Are you taking some time, holiday?
I'm going to take a holiday, actually. And then we're coming back. We're starting again in January, Germany and some other bits and pieces. And some other things coming up that I can't really mention right now, because if I do, it's always the way that they'll get messed up, So, but yeah, we've got some interesting things going on in the new year.
Good. You're not going away then?
No.
No hibernation, no retirement.
No.